What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys so very much for all of your love and support. Over 1,400, we're right there and we're on the brink of 1,500 shows and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of that would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. And yes, we're getting into, we're getting closer to a certain time of year. Election time is happening, and there's so much stuff going on. There's so much misinformation and things of that nature. So I got my friends over at the Stonewall Democratic Club to chat with us today. We're talking a lot of different things that's going on and how you can be involved in your community and how you can make a difference in this election. So I've got Alex and Jonathan with me today. Hey guys.
Hey. Hi.
How are you doing today?
Great. It's great to see you. Or, speak with you. We're not seeing you.
Same thing. We're kindred spirits. You see how we just roam? That works.
Well, existential dread and social distancing have a good way of bringing people together.
Absolutely. So, what part of the country are you guys holding down right now?
We are in Los Angeles, California, yes.
Beautiful Los Angeles. And how are you guys out there doing with the fires and all that stuff?
It is very smoky. I live in Pasadena, just south of where one of the big fires, the Bobcat Fire, is happening. So, it's very smoky. It's not nearly as bad as our friends in Oregon have it right now. So we're very lucky, knock on wood. But it is certainly bad, and climate change is very real. So,
yeah, and you guys.
I was telling Jonathan yesterday that I feel like I was born and raised in Southern California, and I'm not a climate scientist, but I can tell you, at least anecdotally, that it's never been this hot. It's getting hotter and hotter. It's getting drier and drier.
Wow.
My head hurts. There's so much smoke. It's like a really grim scene over here. The sky's just full of smoke and really depressing and sad.
Oh, well, you guys be safe out there. Just do the best that you can do. I know that there's not much you can do, but definitely try your best to just stay safe, because in conjunction with COVID and everything else, and you got to deal with this. Yeah. But so let's changing gears a little bit. Changing gears. All right. So Stonewall Democrats Club. What is that?
Well, Stonewall Democratic Club is an LGBTQ progressive political action and advocacy organization that was founded in 1975 here in Los Angeles, and has since grown to be one of the most powerful political groups in the state of California. And we endorse in hundreds of races across the country, and we do a lot of volunteer work, and we fundraise for different candidates who line up with our ideals. And the name Stonewall was born from the Stonewall riots that happened at the Stonewall Inn, I guess 50 years ago now. This year was the 50th anniversary of the first LGBT Pride Parade. So it was born from that, and really it's turned into a force, I guess, in California politics. And of course now we're hoping to build a coalition of national organizations that line up with our views.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll add that this is a great time for us to, of course, expand our reach into other states throughout the country and other cities, and really reach out to queer people in politics all throughout. We want to, of course, encourage queer people to participate in the political process, whether they are running for office, seeking an appointment to office, or if they're just voting for the first time. There's a lot of power in the queer community. We make up about 5% of the population, and only 1 in 5 queer people that are eligible to vote actually vote. So we have a lot of ground to make up, and we are certainly trying to get the word out.
Absolutely. So you guys have been making a lot of good noise, all right? You're getting into good trouble with the National Vote at Home initiative. Now, how did that come about?
Well, Jonathan and I were sitting around having a chat a couple months ago, thinking, California, this presidential election is going to be the most important of our lifetimes, and it's the stakes are very high. And over here in California, we were wondering, how can we be of service to this cause, this movement? I'm going to call it a movement, right, to take back our government from really anti-democratic forces and forces that are really hurting our country, when we know that it comes down to this electoral college, and not just that, but not just the presidential race, but if we really want to make meaningful change happen, we've got to flip the United States Senate. We've got to hold on to the House of Representatives, and we had a chat about what we could do. And the COVID-19 crisis hit, and we were all very quickly, we saw the Trump administration and the GOP launching a full-on assault on voting by mail as a means to vote, which for people in a global pandemic, and I'll note we have 200,000 lives lost as of today in America, with no real handle on it. Americans, regardless of their party affiliation, should be able to vote. And so we thought, let's reach out to states that need us, states where we feel like we can have an effect on the outcome, and also states where there's a possibility of flipping the Senate or of turning out voters for the Democratic nominee for president. And let's get them their information to vote by mail. And I think Jonathan can touch base more on how we ended up deciding to do it, or how we ended up making it happen.
Yeah, so Ash, we decided, of course, that there were, we could look at this and look at maybe 50 states. That would be quite overwhelming for us to do on a shoestring budget. Alex and I only had $500 to play with, so we're very proud of what we ended up putting out. Yeah. We selected 16 states. They were basically the swing states that you saw change the face of the country in the 2016 election. Of course, you have your big three, your Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. And then you have states that started to trend more towards being a swing state. So interesting states like Arizona, where in 2018 we flipped a Senate seat and elected Kirsten Sinema, a very moderate Democrat, but certainly someone very palatable to Arizonans. So we wanted to make sure that we reached out to Arizona. We wanted to make sure that we reached out to our neighbors in Nevada to make sure that they continue to trend blue. And then states like North Carolina, Florida, Montana, where we have the potential to have a Senate pickup. And of course right here in California, where even though we're a very solidly blue state, we have a handful of House seats that helped us flip the House in 2018, and we need to hold on to those seats. And that's going to be particularly challenging in a presidential year where more people are voting and we have an incumbent Republican president. So we have a big job ahead of us. And if we're going to convince people to vote, we need to make sure that we get them the right information and that they have that easily digestible. So what Alex and I wanted to do is create short videos that are easy to share on social media. So our campaign really lives on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. We have the videos on YouTube as well, if you need to access them there, and on our website at stonewall.vote. But we made them, 2 to 2 minutes and 20 seconds, very easy to share. And we got some high-profile names to help us carry the message in these states. I think the one that has had the most enthusiastic response was we got Linda Carter, Wonder Woman herself, to do Arizona and to tell her fellow Arizonans, which is where she's from. She grew up there.
I mean, Wonder Woman, you guys. Wonder Woman herself.
And we even got don't forget on Twitter where they said, if Wonder Woman's doing it, I'm totally in. And that made us feel great. But sorry,
I nearly cried tears of joy when people were like, well, she really is Wonder Woman. I just registered. And, don't forget, Jonathan, that we also targeted Ash's very own state of Georgia.
Yeah.
And we did. And we got The Walking Dead star Daniel Newman to do that state. And I think Jonathan said, Deborah Messing from Will and Grace,
Yes.
Justin, Michigan, and it's just a really impressive roster of people who all donated their time to help us get the word out. And basically, these videos are basically just laying out how easy it is to vote by mail, how you can do it in your state, what the links are, what the deadlines are, how it's safe, it's easy, how you can drop the ballot off, because of the slowdowns in the U.S. Postal Service. We're recommending that if you're going to be voting by mail this year, you drop your ballot off into your mailbox no later than October 20th. And if you can't do that, have a plan B. Be prepared to take that ballot and drop it off at your local voting precinct, because you can do that with your absentee ballots. And worst, push come to shove, go early vote. If you haven't made your registration on time to vote by mail, go vote early. And it's safe, it's easy. You just strap your mask on, stay away from the crowds. And people are voting this year. And I think having these videos go out to people and really share the information about just how to do it has been really, I'm really proud of it. And, I'm really hoping that it resonates with people.
Yeah, no, I totally think that it is. And I think that you guys bringing awareness about it, about how simple it can be to, if you aren't already registered to vote, register to vote. And then, getting your materials early, getting them in on time. I think you guys are definitely on to a really awesome path. And I think that we're going to see a good turnout. We're going to put some good energy out there for that election, November the 3rd. Putting it out there. But let everybody know, you guys, what's the best way to get in contact with you guys if they want more information, if they want to follow you on social media?
Yeah, you can check us out we're across all the social media platforms at Stonewall Dems. You can check out our site for the National Vote at Home Initiative at stonewall.vote, where we have a matrix of all 16 states. And of course, if you don't see your state on there, you can check out iwillvote.com. That's not our site, but that's a site that we have shared as well, that has information on how to safely vote in every state, in all 50 states and in all of our territories. So, your voice needs to be heard, and we're here to help you figure out just how to do that this year. So at Stonewall Dems across all platforms. I think on YouTube we're also we're youtube.com/Stonewall Democrat if you want to check out the videos there.
I love it. Well,
where can people find you, Jonathan?
Yes.
Oh, me personally? Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jonathan D. Welch.
It's a good...
And Alex, where can people find you?
Oh, stop. I'm at Alex Mohajer. Mohajer. It's Persian for immigrant.
Ooh, Persian.
True story.
Awesome.
Fun fact.
You guys are fun. I appreciate you so very much. And like I said, I think that you guys have really put out some good energy out there, put out some great information, and that we're going to have a really awesome turnout this year. So all that good energy.
Especially in Georgia. Come on, Georgia.
Yes, GA. Yes.
And Ash, where you are in Georgia, I just want to add, Michelle Obama said this in her speech at the convention. You're probably going to wait in line. If you choose not to vote at home, as our campaign asks you to, you're going to find that you're going to wait in line. I have friends who live in Atlanta, and it's insane. So pack your lunch. Yeah. Contact Fair Fight if you see anything weird going on. Mm-hmm. They have, they're on it. And also their organization. That's right, Pack a Lunch. Their organization, one of my favorites is Pizza to the Polls, where you report a long line and somebody delivers pizza to the people who are waiting. So, and if you're in Georgia and you want to help those people to feel comfortable, feel free to get bottles of water, snacks, things that are very sanitary and able to hand out during COVID, and go visit these polling places and just help people and know that, everybody waiting in line deserves their right to vote, and we need to uphold that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We appreciate you beyond words. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone that tells you that you can't do what you want to do. You look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for. The history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.